Welcome to the Expert Talks by Kalkine TV. I'm Sage. Today's guest is Mr Steven Jaenke, founder and CEO of Digimark Australia. Digimark is an award-winning SEO agency based in Toowoomba, Queensland, Australia. They utilise current market trends and data-driven processes to develop marketing strategies that are innovative and effective. So bringing you live today to share insights from the SEO space, we have Mr Steven Jaenke, CEO of Digimark Australia. Welcome to the show, Steve.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on. And could you help us understand the essential aspects of running a website, which SEO is such a big part of, that must be employed for digital marketing, please?
Sure. So SEO in itself used to be about tricking Google. You would go in and find different loopholes about ranking the website. Google's gotten a lot smarter though, and there's actually three pillars that we focus on now, which is the website, making sure that that is good. There's a good user experience. It's giving the content that people are searching for, that sort of thing. Focusing on a content marketing strategy as well. So Google's all about providing answers to searches, and if you're providing that content, then you're more likely to rank, and then making sure that it's popular. So getting other people to recognize it and link back to it is fundamentally what SEO has become.
Great, thanks so much for sharing that in a nutshell with us. So, Stephen, could you please also talk a little bit about the global SEO trends that you've observed in 2021? Has the pandemic restrictions and the increased digitisation changed the SEO trends a little?
It sure has, yeah. So a lot of people have jumped online. We've actually seen an increase in inquiry for our agency, which demonstrates that online is just becoming that much more important. On top of that, Google's doing a lot of stuff to make it easier for people to find what they are looking for. They don't even need to go to a website half the time these days. They've done a lot to make it easier for you to purchase stuff from e-commerce stores. They've made it easier to find news. I know a little while ago we had that News Corp versus Google thing. Hopefully that doesn't come back, but it's yet to be seen the consequences of that. And the release of a new AI called MUM, which is actually spelled correctly, M-U-M instead of M-O-N, which is usually the American thing, which is going to completely change the way that search works. It is kind of exciting from our end, if I can nerd out a little bit.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for sharing that with us, Stephen. So could you also please let us know about your in-house tools that you employ for effective and efficient results for clients?
Sure. So the standard tools that we use are RFs as well as SEMrush. So those are ones that most people who've had a little bit to do with SEO should be aware of. You can actually get SEMrush as a client as well. So if you want to monitor what your SEO company is doing, or if you want to do your own SEO, then you can actually get that for free. It is a little bit more expensive if you do want to paid, but the free version does most of the things that you would need as a client anyway. We also use Screaming Frog, which is an unusual name, but it helps us with the technical aspects of the website. And then we have our own custom tools that we use built on Google Sheets.
Excellent. So the world economy has entered the revival period. However, several businesses are still going through rough patches. So what advice would you like to give people out there to gain an opportunity during the rough times with digitisation?
I'll try and be gentle, but to be brutally honest, some people shouldn't be in business. What we see time and time again is they don't have those foundations right. In these times, you really need to be going back to why you're in existence to begin with. What is it that you do for clients that is beyond your product? looking at who you're actually serving, so that instead of going out there and trying to sell a product and compete on price, you're actually attracting people to you who are, they believe in what you're doing, and that it's solving a problem that they actually have and that they're aware of. So if you get those foundations right, then you're less likely to encounter a problem. Of course, there's going to be disruption, and we've already seen a lot of that. And there's going to be a lot more in the future with the metaverse and Web 3.0. But those challenges are that there's not a strong foundation. So you really need to go back to those foundations, get those right, and then that's how you will see yourself through this situation.
Thanks so much. It's very apt advice. And those free services you mentioned before, RFs and SEMrush, they also have a lot of support online for free in the way of webinars and things like that to help people get accustomed. And I think what you're saying is absolutely right. People need that strong foundation, which comes from education and research before they approach companies like yourself who can be professional technological partners. So yeah, thanks so much for that. We're reaching the end of the discussion now, Steven. So lastly, could you please talk about how you envision the future of the digital universe in the coming 2022, which is not that far away now?
No. So I mentioned before the metaverse and Web 3.0, and that's getting really exciting. It's still very early, but with Mark Zuckerberg mentioning it, it's only a matter of time before it becomes mainstream. Decentraland's been around for a while now. It's going to be interesting to see what Web 3.0 will actually achieve, but I think where the internet is going is really exciting, and it's going to completely change the way that we even interact with each other online. It integrates virtual reality with social, and it's really exciting. It's also backed behind, it's built on blockchain, so yeah, I'm sure there's other experts. It's exciting, is what I mean.
Is. Yes, especially for your space. I don't know how Web 3.0 is going to be affecting the SEO sector, in the coming years. Do you have any insights to share on that? Are you noticing any changes yet?
People always search. I think that they'll just search differently. So it's a matter of adapting to that, whether that looks like more voice-based search. I can envision building different roads to various different things in the metaverse. It's too early to tell what that'll look like.
Thanks, Steve. That's really valuable there. Thank you so much for sharing your vision and passion for what you do.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks so
and if
much.
you just joined us, we had a very interesting interview. Mr. Steve Jaenke, CEO, founder of Digimark Australia. And you can watch the full interview on YouTube at Kalkine Media. But till the next episode, keep watching Kalkine for more of the latest market trends and expert talks, and stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.